Now take a look at today's combatants, with Port Melbourne looking to win 9 games in a row, and in the rooms they're fired up to meet one of the teams that you would expect they may come across in the finals, because it's been said Port hadn't beaten anyone. Well, they showed against Paran that they could match it with the best. Now they get another test today on their home ground. The latter situation has them 2 games clear of Werribee, and Werribee's last game a fortnight ago was a loss at home to Frankston, who are in 3rd place, ahead of Paran, Preston and Box Hill on percentage. Big inclusion this week is Jason Love at full forward, so Damien Drum's team looks just about as strong as it possibly could be, although the coach doesn't underestimate. Revamped one. All the emergencies named in the press, apart from Wilkins, are playing today. Out are Watts, Geary. Hard to tell at the moment. They are all in the centre square, apart from 8 players. Ross Booth, it doesn't look too bad at the moment. Do you think that...
way to kick? There was no doubt about which way to kick. But a couple of goal breeze to the left of screen with Port have.
Yes, that's to the Williamstown Road end. But the sun is out. Sky a little dark over the bay. That's king for Port Melbourne, as the first clear possession is going to go to Werribee through a free kick. And trying to move it up quickly into the breeze with handball and short passes. No, here's a lofted kick from Werribee up to half forward. Quick one from Peter Williams up to AZIZ. Some support. Edwards kicking it through the legs of AZIZ. They'd call that a nutmeg in soccer. AZIZ gets it back though. Well caught. Shaw with the tackle. Laffey wanted it to go over the boundary line. Eventually it does, throw in about 20 metres around from the Werribee goal. So it's a very unsettled type Werribee lineup against a Port side that is running on all cylinders and has had the high-octane fuel added this week with the inclusion of Love, their leading goal kicker, and McKinnon, who's a very skilled player, just watching on the bench in the initial stages.
Peter, you talk about it being unsettled, but it's a pretty talented lineup, Werribee. I mean, all those players on every line are experienced footballers, not like they've pulled any real surprises.
Kieran's kick out in front of Clahessy. Matthew Power there with the ball. He was named on interchange, so that's a late change made by the Bees from the side they furnished to us. David Allday couldn't gather it. Edwards gets another possession. Good distance with that breeze. Munch is spoilt by Harrington, but umpire said he was being held. Umpires Brendan Carland and Mark Prince in charge today.
Interfered with, yes. Big Eric Munch has given the forward line a new dimension, a tall, but very mobile tall too, I might add.
And very versatile too, can be swung onto the ball. Love got a little bit of a push there from Walsh. There he is, the centre half-back, Donald, knocking it over the boundary line, and you saw Love just grab him around the shoulders, neck area to get the free kick. So, wonder how long, Phil, he'll stay down in the back half.
Yes, I don't know, Peter. I don't think it's the best spot for him to be playing, but he's closer to the action. He knows what he's doing.
There's
Time will tell.
kick to McDonald. And that one's high as well. So it's 2 against Jason Love. Advantage is played. King spoiling Tim Reynolds, and there he
Real
is.
asset for the Bees.
Now Wilson for Werribee, kicking to half forward, and Shaw takes the mark. They're going to bring it around the outer side for a change. Darren Kieran. Crimes a long lead. Got room to move in. No, he hasn't. He just takes it out.
And the one thing I really...
Another ex-Brunswick player. Up towards Love, strength against Walsh.
Gee, he did that easily, Sam, didn't he? Just used the body so well there, and Walsh did not have a chance.
Well, he means a lot to Port Melbourne, even though he hasn't played a great deal of football. He, makes that forward line even more potent. And, of course, you're right, Phil, just disposed of him with consummate ease, sheer strength, and he will be a focal point for them upstairs. Gives them a lot of authority up forward.
Missed the last couple. He's kicked 20 for the season.
I must say, though, Sam, he does not look super fit to me. I mean, I've seen Jason Love a lot thinner than that. Maybe it's the hairstyle that makes him look a bit thicker.
And you wonder about the actual leg injuries, Phil.
Well, unable to train.
Certainly didn't run through in the pre-game warm-up in a convincing manner.
Even the way he kicked that ball there, Peter, wasn't kicked with a great deal of authority.
Ball comes out to Laffey. Crimes gave him the call. Might have been a little bit close to him. There's Laffey again. Who's on the end of that? Action, that game at Box Hill between Sandy and Box Hill. Michael Ford's mark. A good one. Two players looked in better position, but Ford outmarked them. Mark 2, Robin Daly for the home side, Box Hill. Again, not an easy day to mark the ball, but good balance there, presence of mind to take on the third grab. And Mark 3, Nick Moray for Sandringham. He took one like that in the first term as well. Wonderful hook with the left hand. Now the goals. Mark Evans from Box Hill got a good shepherd. Very educated snap. A player that was drafted back to his old AFL club North Melbourne this week, Andy Cracker. And that's the sum of the Cracker magic that the Kangaroos are hoping to have back in there. Already impressive performance. Michael Ford from Sandringham. He's a contender in both categories. That was his goal, summing up the options well, running within range and putting it through. So we need a number for the mark.
Well, he obviously knew what he was talking about, Peter. And I guess the thing is, the vital ingredients of their half-time lead is pace and aggression. I thought they were the significant parts of their game which really have troubled Port Melbourne. They're not the fluent free-running side that we've seen over the previous weeks, and they've really struggled as a consequence. Jack AZIZ, as Phil rightfully mentioned, has been a focal point in attack, kicking 5 goals. And, of course, Donald McDonald at centre-half back has effectively cut them out, and they've generated a lot more midfield drive in that second term. Button on screen now, kicked 3 goals for the term, has been a terrific half-forward. But Wilson, I believe, in midfield, along with McMaster, have been terrific at ground level. And you know, they've been very, very worried around the base of the packs, their inability to generate a great deal of drive, and they haven't been that slick, and it's been proving costly. But they've certainly lifted their performance in that regard. Big Michael Laffey there taking a fine mark, and whilst the ball didn't look all that convincing in its travel through the air, it was nonetheless very effective. Wilson again, the player I mentioned, on his left foot, and the ball went through. But a very, very tough, hard game. Tim Rennett's in for his first game. Starting to find his feet a bit better, Phil?
Yes, well, he's a beautifully balanced player, Peter. I think everything he's done's been class. He's not getting as much of the ball. He's a bit underdone in fitness, but he'll get better as the game goes on. AZIZ putting another one through. Ashley Hicks, he'd been all class, and Cloasy, he's struggled a little bit. Luke Donald has struggled a little bit too. Samet has taken it up to him, a new player, young player for Werribee with a lot of pace. But, you know, the game's ahead of it. Well, the big challenge is ahead for Port, and that was Hicks putting through a beauty on the left foot. Timmy Rennett's there, and it ends up with Button out of the blue, and he kicks a goal. But
McMaster takes over. AZIZ held off Steins. Handball comes back to, it was Wilson that was caught there, and some pats on the back for McKinnon there, who laid that tackle, and another one.
Well, I just need a quick goal on the board, Port Melbourne. Just keep the momentum up.
Reynoldsson pushed a man out of the way, but the tap went astray. Bailey gets there first. Donald with him. Bailey does it all on his own. Good handling. Not a good kick. McDonald tries to run away from Harkins. He gets him by the strides, Oscar, and the turnover occurs. Fox, too slow. Rayburn put the tackle on, but Donald ends up with the footy. Munch underneath a skyscraper with Harrington. Tim Harrington has 4 around him. Walsh paddled it away to Connell, who clears out. Is the $64 question. They're certainly fired up, and Damien Drum is roaring at them in the huddle. This is the story quarter by quarter. It was 19 to Port at quarter time, 15 to Werribee at half time, 22 to the Tigers. Now here's Damien Drum.
plenty in the game, though, now, but big ask for Port kicking into the breeze.
Oh, terrific Werribee in the opening 15-20 minutes. They really dominated the term Werribee against a very, very stiff breeze, and I thought Port Melbourne, if they in fact lose the game, they will always invariably come back to that third term, because they were very, very poor in the opening 20 minutes. They had a number of, I thought McMaster was brilliant. Zamet coming in off the wing there. O'Keefe, I think he's really given them a new dimension up forward. He's been inspirational with his hard running and also his weight. I think it's really worried.
He's very fit, Sam, isn't he? He's able to move up and down the ground when he was a kick behind the play.
Geary kicked a couple of goals in that term. AZIZ continued to be a focal point for them.
That's a classic mark, isn't it? You know, you see the spectacular ones, but his use of the body and then great hands under a lot of pressure. Greg Reynolds here.
Knocking the ball on.
Great tap on.
Former teammate and current teammate in Tim Reynolds. But certainly they bounce back strong.
Well, Love! Rightly paid.
Umpire, really?
Well, umpire Carlin will know all about it. No, hit the deck. Good decision. No, it didn't have control of it before it hit the ground. McDonald's fist. All of a sudden, there's more Borough players around the fall. That's nearly a free kick for Hicks. I think the thing, too. Rennett's kicking the ball after the all-day tap. Geary, he was kicking it before he had it. Kieran's tackle. Button ducked his way through again. Jack AZIZ, number 8. Yes! Joskin puts it through.
The reason I say that, though, Sam, is they really have got a lot of talent, haven't they? And you look through, there's AZIZ with 8 goals.
9, actually.
9,
right,
sorry.
Sam.
9 goals.
And when you consider, Phil, that on the sidelines is arguably the 2 best defenders that we thought, in the likes of Frank Lesapati and also Linton Fitzpatrick.
That's right.
Was cooling his heels in the reserves earlier.
But just on paper, it's hard to see them not getting there. You know, saw the Borough a great side too. Been down to
Big save. Trophy.
Yeah, congratulations, Jack, from the Victoria Police and Vic Safe on a great game yourself and certainly a great team effort. I'd like to present you with this lovely tankard.
Great, thanks very much.
Well done, Jack.
Thanks, Greg. And there's a keys to the Mazda, Jack. Look after that key for a week. And you're drinking solo. That's good to see.
Yeah, fantastic, yeah.
Well, a great effort by the team because Port have been unbeaten up until now. And
actually, it's a real terrific effort, magnificent effort. I think full credit to Port Melbourne and just Macca and the boys, absolutely magnificent. I mean, it's just terrific.
The whole
great feeling.
The huddle was pretty excited there at three-quarter time, but you're one of the cool heads saying, settle down, we've got to outscore them. There's a new responsibility of Jack AZIZ.
Yeah, you got to realise, Roscoe, I'm happier now. I'm not as frustrated anymore, and you know, it's a new, it's a new club. I mean, I just love it. Great professional club, and Macca knows what he wants out of his players, and it's a much better feeling.
Okay, well that's good. There's some positive comments from our man of the match, Jack AZIZ.
The terrific Turkish-Australian Joskin AZIZ, 9 goals won, but as you said, Philip, easier to find good Werribee players than Port Melbourne players today.
Well, I think that they'll take some comfort out of that. If you drew a line through the side, stopped where the good players were, you wouldn't be stopping at all because that was a pretty ordinary.
Aggression and pace and just greater body strength really had an unsettling effect on their midfield.
There was Cunningham, who kicked the first goal of the quarter for Port. That got them rolling. All of a sudden they were within 9 points after a wonderful mark from Love.
And he's a terrific player, Peter. He is underdone. He's got to play to get fit. That's the problem, and he hasn't been able to train
just
properly.
sneaked that one in, but then it was 9 points the difference.
Yes, and that was that telling one. We won't see it here, but when Jason Love had that chance, had he put that goal through, really they'd have...
O'Keefe to Geary, and Geary, you're right, Phil, played a prominent role in that last term.
And unmanned,
too much latitude.
Gavin Edwards, like he gave him metres.
I think they just got caught in the euphoria of the Port Melbourne defence and went kick chasing and wanted to involve themselves further afield.
Here he is on his own again.
Yeah.
And that really set up the loose man who was AZIZ.
He was brilliant.
He was a focal point all day. You know, he really did it for